Well, rest assured, as we speak, President Obama is considering Willie for appointment as the Undersecretary of the Treasury. And if that doesn't provide stimulus, I don't know what will.
The moment they swore Geithner in, I just knew they'd had to be a real big spender, a budget bender. Told myself, just relax. This dude in charge of Treasury underpaid his tax. I'm hoping to meet Timothy. I got a hunch that he'd be awfully good to me. Hey, big spender! Spend a trill or two on me. Yeah. All those fellas at AIG got a bonus eye. Here, dear, if you give me a bailout on a yacht, I will sail out. We ought to go out on a date. You could offer me some stimulation just like the nation. Spend shekels on me, pet. You wake up in the morning feeling no regret. Now, Tim, I'll go right to the point. You've been giving away a lot of cash, I see. Hey, big spender, budget lender, legal tender, lay a trill or two on me. Share a little thrill with me. Oh, lay a trill or two on me. Oh, yeah.
Folks, we're thrilled to have with us now none other than Colorado's junior Senator Michael Bennett. Thanks for being with us, Senator.
It's my pleasure.
Now, before your appointment, Senator, you weren't all that well known to the Colorado electorate. So perhaps you could take this opportunity to tell us about your background and what led up to your appointment by Governor Ritter.
Absolutely. When I was a boy in Connecticut, my parents always praised me for my etiquette. On proper manners I was deadly keen, and I knew a serving platter from a soup tureen. I knew a soup tureen from a finger bowl, so they told me being senator should be my goal. In college I faced adversity, for Daddy headed up my university. I felt obligated to try to pass, so I managed to show up for every other class. I went to class and I managed not to fail, so of course they sent me off to study law at Yale. I'd never seen a court and I'd never read a brief, so I soon was appointed editor-in-chief. That law review provided lots of strokes, and I kept the readers laughing with some lawyer jokes. I told good jokes and I made folks laugh, so they offered me a job on Janet Reno's staff. The end of Janet's term was the final straw, so I thought I'd go out and practice corporate law. I'd never studied firms or seen how deals were made, so Anschutz promptly hired me as a valued aide. Perhaps Phil thought I had some brains, for he had me organize some major movie chains. I once had a lunch at the old Wind Coop, which landed me a job with Mayor Hickenloop. I gave my all for the city brass, and I learned a thing or two I never saw in class. I'd never taught a class, and I didn't know the rules, so they made me superintendent of the Denver schools. I was busy teaching children as small adults who should be a bit embarrassed by their test results. So the call from the governor, as you might guess, came as a real surprise to me, I must confess. I'd never run for office, and I didn't know the score. So now I'm Colorado's junior senator. The moral of my tale can't be denied. Don't ever take a job for which you're qualified. Don't say what you can do, just make them guess, and play your capabilities close to the vest. Play close to your vest, don't tell them what you're for, and Ritter might anoint you as a senator.
Our next guest is well known throughout the world. He's the winner of 8 gold medals at the Olympic Games. And that was in Beijing. Please give the warmest welcome to the greatest swimmer in history, Mr. Michael Phelps. Why, you do look a little different in person than you do on TV.
Oh, I think maybe I look a bit different because I've gotten out of shape during this 90-day suspension they imposed on me. I've sort of gone to pot.
Pot?
I didn't mean to say the P word.
Well, tell us, what was the highlight of the games for you?
Well, I'd have to say it was the 400-meter relay race. The USA team was way behind until I was finally able to grab the lead.
Grab the weed?
Oh my God, I've done it again. And just when I was trying to turn over a new leaf.
A new leaf?
Oh, I haven't screwed up this badly since I was on the Gong Show.
You know, you seem to have an ongoing problem here.
I am so out of here.
Well, there you have it, folks. Sports hero Michael Phelps, and next, we have a pair of Bronco fans taking on that thorny quarterback problem.
I think that Josh McDaniel's out of his head. In fact, I'm sure that man is out of his head. We should have kept our star Jay Cutler instead and traded Josh away. You got it wrong, it's Jay who's being the jerk. He hears one rumor and won't show up for work. He's just a big spoiled brat who's acting berserk. Good riddance, baby Jay. While Denver Broncos are feuding and bickering, Raiders and Chargers are rooting and snickering. Here's the guy who ought to go Pat Bowlen We ought to wash those men right out of our hair. We ought to wash those men right out of our